All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Chase. You can't see me, but here's my name tag right here in the bottom of the screen. Today we're gonna be fishing this creek right here in front of me, about a half-mile stretch, and we're gonna be using what I think is one of the best. I think a Cinco is the best, given the circumstances, but one of the best lures for fishing a creek or any small, clear water, which is a trick worm, a weightless trick worm. So let's get to it. Let's just see how many fish I can catch, and I'm gonna kind of go through some of the reasons why I think there's a fish. That doesn't feel like a bass. It is, he's around a stick. That's a big fish, y'all. He's around a stick. Actually, he's not very big. He was just around a stick. All right, we got him out. I'm gonna go over to this bank right here and we'll get him up. There he is. He is a chunk. He's maybe 2.5 pounds. The GoPro makes him look smaller because my arms are, it's just the angle. So y'all will have to get used to that. But that's a nice little healthy fish. I'm gonna go ahead and get him back in the water. He's real cold, which is good. Tells me that he's sitting on a spring. My worm is broken, sort of. And a lot of people will just throw them away. But what you do is, you see the tip there? I'm just gonna rip it off, or I'm gonna bite it off. So that's what it looks like right now. You just bite it off where it's broken right there, and you got a brand new trick worm. I'm gonna go ahead and show you all how to hook one of these real quick. You just start right here. This is a 2-aught hook, a 2-aught offset worm hook. You just go down, straight down, till you hit that bend. Boom, then you come right out the back, the flat side. If there's not a flat side, just come out one of the sides. Thread it all the way up to the eye, and I like to cover my knot just like that, and then come this way, and you should look like this. Turn it and set it where it's like that, where the worm is straight, and you see where that shank should go in. And I just put my thumb there and I go straight through, not at an angle, just straight through, and it pops out just like that. Now that's not weedless. You can make this weedless. What you do is you move it up a little bit and you grab it and you just lift. You lift this up. Well, let me see if I can get this on camera for you. You lift this up and you just set it right there on the tip of that hook. So now it's weedless. You got to set the hook a little harder, but it will catch fish. So I'll stop talking. Let's get out there. Let's catch some more bass like that one, some bluegill, maybe even some crappie, and let's see what we can do. All right, so, oh, there's a fish. That was a bluegill. So when fishing a trick worm, you kind of want to cast to cover. If you're, what I was saying there before that bass struck was you really want to throw it to cover. This is a very visual method. You're not putting out a wake, you're not putting out any noise. The bass is gonna see that worm, it's gonna go to that worm, and it's gonna eat that worm. Especially if little bluegill or smaller fish are messing with it, they're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna eat it before that thing eats it. Another thing is you wanna watch your line. Those bass will swallow this worm, hook and all, and you don't wanna gut hook them. I like to use mono or braid with a leader because both of those float on top of the water, and I can easily watch them and see if something strikes it. So if you see it twitch or something, go ahead and set the hook, even if it is just a bluegill. Another great thing about trick worms is you can skip them like I did right here. And actually I had cast there several times without catching this fish, and then I decided, hey, I'm gonna skip it up there. And that sort of imitates a bait fish running from other predators, which sort of triggers that predator instinct in the bass, thinking, hey, I'm gonna grab it before that other fish grabs it, and I'm gonna eat it without even looking twice. Not only does it trigger that predator instinct, it also is a great way to get to unpressured fish or fish that are just sitting in the shade, under docks, under tree branches, under any sort of low-hanging structure. You can, I mean, guys, you can skip these trick worms, any kind of worm, a mile. Speaking of skipping worms, this is a Jean LaRue tattletale worm. This is the 8-inch version. Yeah, it's some bright Cheeto color, and I'll get to that in a minute and about why I like to use bright colors sometimes. This is an amazing worm. It is a bass catcher, y'all. The action on the tail is just absolutely incredible. The issue is they're a little more pricey and they're not quite as durable. The bluegill tend to just rip the tail right off. But I'm telling you, you make them last and you will catch fish. Alright, so back to the bright colors. Sometimes I like to use bright colors, especially in the warmer months when the bass are kind of actively feeding, because they're not going to be too skittish from it, and I can see it better in the water. With my sunglasses on, I can see almost anything in the water, but from 50, 60 yards, which I can really cast that Jean LaRue worm that far, I can see that worm perfectly in 4 or 5 feet of water, and I know when a bass grabs it. So that's why I like to use bright colors. Sometimes it sort of triggers something in the bass to just destroy it. I'll throw natural colors and they won't touch it. I'll throw some bright yellow banana color worm and they will just hammer it. Another thing about weightless worms is they're very versatile in the way that you can use them. I mean, I worked this one like a topwater, and look at that bass. He just exploded on it right before it got to the weeds. I slowed it down and he thought, hey, this is my chance, and boom. Really fun. You can work them like that. You can work them like a jerk bait. You can cast it and kind of work it in 2-3 foot depth, kind of back and watch it, and those bass will reaction strike it. Or you can work it slow. Cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, twitch it every once in a while if those fish are getting a little finicky. Last tip, and then I'll get back to the video. If you're having a hard time throwing the worm as far as you want, or if maybe you want it to sink a little bit quicker, go ahead and up the hook size. Here I'm using a 2-watt, very thin wire, offset worm hook. Later on, I'm in deeper water and I think, hey, maybe I want it to sink a little bit quicker, and I had a thicker gauge wire hook, so I used that instead, and it really makes an impact. It sinks a lot quicker, y'all. You'll notice I'm using several different kinds of worms, and I'll link my favorite ones down in the description below. Y'all really do need to check out that Jean LaRue worm though. 10 out of 10, would 100% recommend. Alright, that rock wall right there is a dam, and right above that dam is a very deep section of creek that I have not fished in years. It's my neighbor's property. I asked and he gave me permission to come on up and fish it, and guys, it was absolutely incredible. The remainder of this video was shot in less than 30 minutes, and it was a wild 30 minutes, let me tell you. I cut it up, so some of the dialogue might not really make sense. I've kind of cut myself off a couple times just because I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet, sub 15 minutes, so sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, I'll stop going after the little ones. I'll stop talking. I'll get up to the top of this thing and get you all a nice view of this next place. I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like. I haven't been up here in a couple of years, actually. I used to come up here all the time to my neighbor's place. Oh, and it's looking, there went a giant turtle. It's looking good, y'all. It is looking really good. I think this thing will, oh, there's a big old red ear sunfish right there. And a big old regular bluegill. Yeah, this thing sinks. Oh. We're just gonna flip you up in the grass. Oh, that's a pretty fish. They're all pretty. I call them all pretty fish. We're gonna launch them back in the water. Then I'm gonna try and catch that bluegill I was originally trying to catch. Actually, we're gonna be nice and quiet with this, because there we go. Because I don't want to spook any bass up in here. Oh, there's 3 bass right in front of me. Come on. Okay, you know what? It's screwed up. I don't even care. We're just gonna drop it, and it's gonna sink like a wacky worm. And he's gonna eat it anyway. We're just gonna flip him too. Boy, that's a dark bass. That's an old fish. Boom. I don't really know where that other one went, so I'm just gonna, my hook's still screwed up, but we're just gonna let it sink. Thing is, it doesn't really matter if the hook's screwed up as long as you set the hook. Oh! Hey, you know what? He fixed the hook too. That's funny. Well, that was fun. We had our first actual jump of the day. Oh, there's another. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, he's gonna eat it. He's got it. Oh, you're gonna flip yourself. These are really dark fish. He just basically jumped out of the water himself, y'all. Look at that. He's got a long mouth too. Look at that. That's a pretty one. It's almost like all of this commotion is drawing the fish over here. Cough him up. Oh, bass right in front of me. Bass right in front of me. Spooked. spooked. He's swimming left. He's about a 2-3 pounder. I put it right on top of him. Oh, he didn't want it. He did. Oh, he wants it. Oh, he's got it. Anyway, studies show that these things will spit them up, and if they don't spit them up, they're actually capable of, I'm not gonna flip this one. I don't need to flip them. The reason I was flipping them in the first place was because I didn't want to cause too much commotion. But I think the commotion is actually helping me out considerably here. Huh, hook just fell out. Look how fat that thing is. Ooh, look at that crawdad whisker down his mouth. These guys are healthy up here, y'all. This is a really, really healthy creek. Really, really healthy. Anyway, if they don't spit them out, they will poop them out. So I'm not worried about it. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun here. Big thanks to Owen, for my neighbor, for giving me permission to come up here and catch some of these fish. There's a huge green sunfish that I'm staring at right now. I'm gonna just loop-de-loop it right over here, get him to see it. He's dark. Oh, he's scared of it. Oh, that one's not. That's a bluegill. Eat it all the way. Yeah. Oh, gosh darn it. Oh, bass went for it. Bass went for it. Drop it. Oh, I dropped it. Look right here. Look right here. You see my worm? See my worm? Let's get him back in the water. Eating into my 25 minutes there, but that's all right. I hope y'all saw that hook set. That was a lot of fun for me. Seems like I need to go after bluegill, because every time I go after a bluegill, a bass comes out. I jerked it out of that bluegill's mouth, and that bass went straight for it, and he swam up underneath me. Oh, I just stabbed myself. Anyway, he just swam up underneath me, and he was watching the worm. He didn't see me, because he was so fixated on the worm. Seems like they're hugging this bank. I'm just gonna, oh, that sucked. That was a terrible cast. What? Ooh, that's a green one there. You're not very hooked. There you go. Nice, healthy, dark bass. Back in the water with you. I'm just gonna move on. There's a good spot right there. Good branches, good cover. We're gonna go to the left side of it first, work it out a little bit. Let it sit right there. He grabbed it. That's a big fish. That's a nice fish. He's not huge, but I can't tell in the water, y'all. He looks, oh, there's one following him too. Watch this, watch. Look. See that one following him? He's going for the worm. I wish y'all could see that. Okay, I'm gonna get him in, and oh, there's two following him now. I'm gonna get him in, and I might be able to catch that other one. Oh, wow, yeah, that's about a 4-pounder there, y'all. That's good, that's a good one. Boom, big daddy there. Look at that, he's flaring out his gills. All right, whoop. A little loop-de-loop for him back in the water. What I did was I put it over there right where I put this one. I have no idea if y'all can see that. And I worked it out like this, and then I just set it still. And what that does is, there's bass up underneath that. Seriously, bluegill crab. Oh, that's a bass. What that does is, those fish, that's a lot of fun. This one's actually fighting a little harder. He's not as big as that last one, but he's fighting. Anyway, what that does is, those fish will come out of that cover and come on up. Nope, you're not getting around that pillar. Fish will come out of that cover, chasing that bait just as fast as they can. Oh, I barely hooked him in the corner of the mouth. Well, he's actually really hooked in the corner of the mouth. All right, there he is, a nice long, healthy fish. Let's get him back in the water and on his way. Is that a crappie right there? Let's see, no, that's a bluegill. That is a bluegill. Oh, there's two bass, and one's got it. We're gonna flip this guy because I can't get to him. He's too heavy to flip with this rod. I don't want to break my rod. We're gonna roll you. Oh, I don't want to break my rod. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a running start, and then we're gonna flip them up here in the grass. So let them swim down, and then we're gonna turn them around, and we are going to just whoop, right, lay him softly in the grass. He's just a little heavy to flip regular style. It's a pretty one, that's a nice one. Hook came out nice and easy too. Pretty fish, pretty fish. Let's see if we can't catch his buddy too. I'm gonna just, oh, what a perfect re-entry that was. He went in the head for like you know those toys when you were a kid, those little missiles that you would flip in the water and they'd shoot across the length of the pool? That's basically what he just did. Except I didn't flip him, I just tossed him head first. His buddy was right there. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, wait a second, something's got it. I need a new worm. Oh. All right, I'm on the log. Gosh dang it. I didn't even have a fish. I'm just gonna break the line. All right, line broke. Well, I think I'm gonna have to call it there, y'all. I lost my only heavy hook on a log down there, which I think is a great stopping point for the day. Caught plenty of bass, had a blast. I hope y'all had a blast watching the video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below. Let me know what you did like, what you didn't like, maybe what you want to see in the future. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and as always, I will catch y'all next time.